I'm standing in my kitchen at 2 in the morning, laptop open, hands shaking so badly I can barely type. On my screen is a PDF I haven't seen in 20 years. My senior thesis from MIT. My name is at the top, my research, my code, my diagrams, and right below it, in smaller text, is a screenshot from my former roommate's company website, where she claims she invented this exact algorithm in her Harvard dorm room in 2004, except I wrote it in 2003 at MIT, and she was my roommate when I did it. I'm going to tell you exactly how I found this, and what I'm about to do with her investor's contact information that I just downloaded 5 minutes ago. Let me take you back to fall of 2002. I was a computer science major at MIT, and Vanessa was my randomly assigned roommate, a business major who seemed harmless enough. We weren't best friends, but we got along. She'd order pizza while I coded at 3 a.m. I'd help her with Excel formulas for her marketing classes. It felt like a normal college friendship. I was working on my senior thesis, a machine learning algorithm that could predict consumer purchasing patterns with scary accuracy. I was obsessed with it. Vanessa would sit on her bed doing homework while I rambled about data models and neural networks. She always seemed genuinely interested, asking questions, bringing me coffee. I thought she was just being supportive. I remember one night in particular, April 2003. I was explaining how the pattern recognition worked, using her online shopping history as an example. She laughed and said, "If this works, you could sell it to every retailer in America." I brushed it off. I was focused on my GPA, on graduating, on maybe getting into a PhD program. I wasn't thinking about money. I defended my thesis that May, got an A. My advisor called it groundbreaking and suggested I consider publishing. But I was burned out, and honestly, I was ready to just be done with school. I took a job at a tech company in Boston doing basic database management. Vanessa moved to New York for some entry-level marketing gig. We lost touch completely. No social media back then, no reason to stay connected. Life moved on. Fast forward to 2008. I'm scrolling through TechCrunch one morning before work, and I see a headline: Harvard grad raises $2 million for revolutionary shopping algorithm. There's a photo of Vanessa, my Vanessa, smiling in a blazer, standing in front of a whiteboard covered in diagrams that look familiar. The article quotes her saying she developed the core technology during late nights in her dorm room, driven by a passion for understanding consumer behavior. My stomach dropped, but I told myself I was being paranoid. Lots of people work on similar stuff, right? I clicked around her company's website. The language was vague enough. Proprietary machine learning, predictive analytics. Nothing I could point to and say, that's mine. So I did what most people do when they're not sure. I did nothing. I doubted myself. I buried the feeling. I figured I was just jealous that she'd done something with her career while I was stuck in a cubicle. But that feeling never fully went away. Over the years, I'd occasionally Google her name. Series A funding. Series B, partnerships with major retailers. By 2015, her company was valued at over $50 million. She was giving TED Talks, and I was still fine. Not unsuccessful, but not that. I got married, had 2 kids, worked my way up to a senior developer role. I told myself I was happy, and mostly I was. But there was always this tiny, nagging voice. Then 3 months ago, my 17-year-old daughter was assigned a research paper about women in tech. She asked me for examples, and I mentioned Vanessa, more as a cautionary tale about my own choices than anything else. My daughter, being the internet-obsessed Gen Z kid she is, pulled up everything. Articles, interviews, and then she found an old podcast from 2019 where Vanessa is describing her origin story in detail. I listened to it while folding laundry. And then I stopped folding, because Vanessa was describing my thesis, not something like it, my actual thesis. She talked about using dormitory network traffic patterns as initial data. We didn't have network traffic data at Harvard Business School dorms, but MIT computer science students did. I had used that exact data set. She mentioned a specific bug in early testing where the algorithm confused seasonal buying with brand loyalty. I had documented that exact bug in my thesis. She even used the phrase purchase echo patterns, a term I coined because I thought it sounded cool. I went up to my attic at midnight and dug through boxes until I found it. My printed thesis, bound in blue plastic, coffee stains on page 43. I read it cover to cover. Then I read every public interview Vanessa had ever given, and it was all there. My work, my language, my ideas. She had stolen my entire thesis and built a company worth millions on it. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. My husband thought I was having a breakdown. Maybe I was. I kept thinking about all the times I doubted myself, thought I wasn't ambitious enough, wasn't smart enough, and this whole time, someone else had been succeeding with my brain. But that wasn't even the worst part. Last week, I found out her company is going public. The IPO is scheduled for next quarter. She stands to make over $200 million personally. $200 million. From my thesis. From work I did at 22 years old in a dorm room while eating ramen and pulling all-nighters. That's when something in me snapped. I wasn't sad anymore. I was furious. I hired a lawyer, a real one, not some general practice attorney, but an intellectual property specialist who's handled tech theft cases. I sent her everything. My original thesis with the MIT timestamp, her interviews, technical documentation from her company's early patents that match my work line by line. My lawyer's eyes went wide. She said, "This is the most clear-cut case of IP theft I've seen in a decade." Then I did something most people told me I shouldn't do. I joined a venture capital networking group, paid the $500 membership fee with money from my daughter's summer job that she insisted I use. I made a profile, I started connecting with people, and within 2 weeks I had a coffee meeting with someone who sat on the board of Vanessa's company. I told him everything, showed him the evidence. He went pale. He said, "If this is real, the IPO will collapse. We're talking about securities fraud." He gave me 3 more names, board members, early investors, people with tens of millions on the line who had no idea they'd invested in stolen technology. And what I did next? Most people told me I'd gone too far. I sent every single one of them a PDF, my thesis, Vanessa's interviews, a timeline, a legal analysis from my attorney. No threats, no demands, just facts and a single line. "I thought you deserved to know what you're actually investing in." Within 48 hours, Vanessa's lawyer called my lawyer. The IPO has been postponed indefinitely. 2 board members have resigned. And yesterday, I got an email from Vanessa herself. After 20 years of silence, it said, "We need to talk. Name your number." I haven't responded yet. My lawyer says we're in the power position now. She's estimating an 8-figure settlement minimum plus my name on the patents plus royalties going forward. But honestly, the number almost doesn't matter anymore. I'm sitting here thinking about 22-year-old me, staying up until dawn believing in something I created. I think about all the years I thought I wasn't enough. And now I know I was always enough. I was just trusting the wrong person. The meeting is set for next Tuesday. Vanessa, her legal team, my lawyer, and me. I bought a new blazer, I printed a fresh copy of my thesis, and I'm walking in there with my head high because I'm not asking for anything. I'm taking back what was always mine. Here's what I learned. Your gut is usually right. That weird feeling you get when something's off? Listen to it. And if someone steals from you, it's never too late to fight back. Never. If this story resonated with you, subscribe. I share a new story every single week. And drop a comment below if you've ever been betrayed by someone you completely trusted. You are not alone, and you will get through this.